The rain is pouring and the magpie is casting. Hello and welcome to my viewers from around the world. Magpie 842 here, coming at you with a 1v1 battle, featuring, spawning in the west, the Overcommand forces of sr4czka, who I'm going to call Scorpion, because I casted a game of his before, and I concluded that his name is unpronounceable, so I called him Scorpion, and I'm going to do it again. And spawning over in the east, we have CelticsREP, who will be playing as Soviets. Celtics has chosen his commander right off the bat. We have the Soviet Shock Army, which is going to equip his forces with the HM38 120mm mortar squad, which I really like it. It's a good unit. It's been nerfed a little bit, but let's pay attention to it in this game, and we'll see how it does. Shock Troops, the potent body armor equipped 6-man SMG toting squad for the Russians. Conscript assault package upgrade, oh that's pretty cool, so he has both Shock Troops and the Conscript assault package upgrade, so those Conscripts going to be able to scale a bit better into the mid and late game. Have a bit more punch thanks to those PPSH submachine guns. He can build the ML20 152mm gun howitzer, which is a really decent indirect fire piece, and he can call in the IL-2 stomach for an attack. There's actually a fight underway already, as we have some Storm Pioneers garrisoning a building, mowing down an unlucky Soviet engineer here. First blood, boom, unlucky. And seems like they're gonna chase, as the the Schlepper truck coming pretty far out and getting scouted by these engineers, and CelticsREP has gone Tech 1, so there's an opportunity here for him to build a scout car and harass this construction truck as it's building. This is some really ambitious placement. I mean, he's coming really far forward with this, exposing the greatest weakness of the Overcommand force. Wow. These Storm Pioneers are also not wanting to take this fight, I feel, whilst in the far north, a Kuba-wagon kind of taking an awkward engagement against these engineers, who should be fine though. These Storm Pioneers, okay, they're doing better than I thought. This heavy cover is actually working against these engineers, and now it probably won't because they've jumped over. But it's an awkward position. I mean, at best he's going to trade a Storm Pioneer or two or more for a couple of models of enemy troops, and that's probably just about efficient. But the trouble with Storm Pioneers, of course, is they're worth so much per man. They give away a lot of veterancy, so you've got to be really careful which fights you do and do not take with them. So anyway, Kuba-wagon coming back here, having not actually dealt with this squad of engineers, but coming back to support in mid as the Schwervemak Schlepper, still not deploying or thinking about it. It is in friendly territory, and I think like here maybe, or here. So like two spots, I would say. This one's a decent-ish spot because there's enough room for your infantry squads to fall back without getting jammed around it. There's also some decent cover and buildings that you can use, although this is a bit of a blocker, so maybe this is a liability. So another good place to deploy is possibly here, actually. Yeah, I like here best. That looks nice. Or here. So, yeah, a number of choices, but he hasn't actually deployed that, and I wonder if he's forgotten to. Let's have a look. No, he's not floating any manpower, so he's actually just shifted things up a bit, and here comes the scout car. I mean, it's a little bit late. If this Vermak Schlepper was deploying at the earliest possible opportunity, it probably would have been too late, but as it is, this is going to be more than enough to chase away the car, and I think, oh dearie me, it's going to get the Kuba-wagon, so that's a dead Kuba. Sadly, the Strudel-wagon is not long for this world. As in the south of the map, the Penal squad are taking a pretty bad fight against these folks, and Celtics wants to get them out, and he does. And the Kuba-wagon going down in flames, or up in flames, however you want to call it. Victory point being taken to the north. I'd say map control is pretty much even, but the victory points are favouring our Overcommand player here, Scorpion. Not much action to bring you right now, so I'm just kind of drifting the camera around the map, waiting for something, waiting for some guns to start firing, waiting for that action to occur. And the force of the Overcommand just kind of repositioning, and it seems like he's sending the Vermak Schlepper to the south of the map. This is interesting. Keep an eye on this. This is now like a reasonably late deployment for this Vermak Schlepper. If we look at the units, we've got 3 squads of Volks, 1 of Storm Pioneers, which of course you start with, and a Rakettenwerfer coming out as a counter for that scout car. And pardon me. Now, just a note, in general, I would wait with my Storm Pioneers here, and then I would let my Volks come around and have the Storm Pioneers come out behind them. There we go. See, he's reorganised them now, but you see the Storm Pioneers have almost lost a quarter of their health because they just came out in the wrong order then. It's not the end of the world. These things happen, especially if your attention's spread across the map, and I say I would do that. I would try to if I had the spare attention. I might not always catch these things. But yeah, just a tip for aspiring Overcommand players out there, you always want to have your Volks in front of your Storm Pioneers, just always do. And able to force a couple of squads back is Scorpion. The scout car coming back up to the north. So where's the Wehrmachtschlepper? Here it is. And it's reversing now, because he's lost all of his presence down here. He's had to fall back as infantry. I think at this point in the game you've got to just cut your losses, drive the truck into the base, go for your mechanized regiment HQ, hit that fuel conversion hard, get out a flak half track and then a Puma, or the other way around depending, it's up to you. And just admit that you're not going to get the forward truck out here, because he needs to build a building and he needs to build one soon, because he doesn't get the second truck until he deploys this one. So right now he's delaying his later game tech, which is not what you want to do. I mean, so yeah, that's what I would do. I would say it's time to bite the bullet. No, he's going back to the top bridge. He really wants to get this over into the middle and deployed somewhere. So as I take a sip on my tea, English breakfast, the tea of choice here for Magpie as we move into the sort of mid-early game. These guys just camoing for their lives here. Okay, they're going to fall back, and I think these guys should too. Storm Pioneers are going to come across and just apply some mid-range pressure to these guys. Wow, the flamethrower's got good range there. Celtics taking the southern victory point and also crucially denying the fuel point here, although as he does so, Scorpion grabs the north fuel point, so that's kind of a little fuel point trade-off that's going on there. And I feel like Scorpion just flailing a little bit, just flailing. And okay, here we go. So he's decided to go for that mechanized regiment headquarters. Fair enough. Hooray! Well, I'm really glad about that. It means that I might have actually known what I was on about. That's pretty cool. And if he can, he'll probably want to get a salvage on this Kubel as well. And let's go and take a look at the Soviet teching. So we have Tech 2 added to the Tech 1. So we have the option for Zis guns, mortars, and Maxim machine gun squads. So basically 3 weapon team options to complement the front row lineup of penal squads that Celtics has opted for. So we'll see what he decides to go for. He's gone for a Zis gun straight out the gates there. A flak half-track is the choice for Scorpion. And I've got to say, this is a build I've been experimenting with more and more, is getting your early mechanized regiment, getting the flak half-track, then a Puma. And if you've got the micro, and if your flak half-track can survive through the early game, that's a really potent unit. Once it gets its range upgrade as well, it starts getting properly nasty. So yeah, I think that's a pretty cool choice. He doesn't know about the tier 2 and he doesn't know about the Zis gun, so I hope that he doesn't just drive the flak half-track out and get it taken out. Sensibly enough, Scorpion is lurking with the Zis gun set to fire at vehicles only, so it's not even revealing itself against these Volks, which are probably just on the end of its range. So, but anyway, so the flak half-track, here it comes. So we'll see what impact it's going to have. I hope he doesn't get cocky and just decide to, because I don't think do Penal Legion have the anti-tank grenade? No, they don't. So I hope he doesn't get cocky and just decide, like, yeah, I'm going to park it right here in between all their 3 units and, like, mess them up. Because the Zis gun's coming forwards now. Yeah, no, he's playing it defensive. Play it cool, boy. I like this. This is much better. So yeah, he's just going to poke from the back. And the fact that he stopped there tells me, I'm really hoping it's telling me that he's going to play it really cautious. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. He's going to get it behind this Zis gun. No, quick, Vasily, turn the Zis gun. Oh, no, he's in reverse now. Vasily, what are you doing? He's over there. No, oh, Vasily. Okay, that's a good shot. So this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. From Scorpion's point of view, he's got to be feeling a little bit cheesed off about that. I mean, these things happen. I've had it happen a million times. So, but he does now have to contend with having a bit of a fuel deficiency. He's lost 55 fuel in that investment. That's 55 overcommand fuel as he chooses to look off ground support doctrine commander and deploys a unit of Fallschirmjägers in this building. So this should, I reckon that's a dead Zis gun, and it is. And if he can grab this Zis gun, that's a nice turnaround. Little tip for overcommand players that I've discovered. You might think it's a disadvantage to recrew a weapon team thing like a mortar or a machine gun or a Zis gun using your Fallschirmjägers because they cost a lot and then you have to recrew them. But what that means is you have Fallschirmjägers as your weapon crew. And I've had it where I've had a mortar being assaulted by conscripts or something, and because it's Fallschirmjägers who are crewing that mortar, they're totally able to gun them all down. You know, like so, and like more than a few times, I've had it where the Fallschirmjägers I grabbed a weapon with are then able to like do work defending that weapon, and like nobody expects it. I mean, who expects Fallschirmjägers to be crewing a weapon and doing work? You know, with their machine guns. What are they, like FG-42s or something? So yeah, just a small point. Just thought I'd put it out there. And it does cost you a lot of manpower, so it's not like it's like a free little thing that you're getting some benefit out of anyway. I seriously think someone should grab this Sis though. It bothers me that it's just sitting there. I also think, okay, the Kugelwagen has either been salvaged or destroyed or run over, but I think he should salvage this and at least get 5 of his fuel back. Anyway, he's going to secure the middle victory point as Scorpion, as meanwhile let's go and have a look at the tech. We still don't have the tier 3 building coming down yet. He'll probably want to get that to get himself some vehicles. His commander doesn't really provide anything in the way of armour, so that's another thing. There's also a Maxim joining the field. And although there's been a couple of rough phases of play here for Scorpion, having his HQ truck positioning denied for so long, and then also losing his first vehicle for 55 fuel, and also losing the Kugelwagen. If we look at the top left and top right, it's actually all panning out quite well for Scorpion, who outnumbers his foe in terms of squad count quite considerably. 4 Volks to 3 Penals, Storm Pioneers and Fallschirms on top of that, versus just the Engineers and Maxim for Celtics. And then he's managed to grab the Zis, which I was really hoping he would. That's so cool. And he's got a Kettenwerfer, so things are looking pretty good for Scorpion. And it's not like Celtics hasn't been spending his manpower, you know, like so. Yeah. The infantry battles seem to have been favouring Scorpion as he gets the Rakettenwerfer into a nice building and starts deploying his Schwerer Panzer headquarters here, which I like. This is quite a nice position. I think often it's a really good idea to completely occlude your HQ trucks behind a building. So in this case, that would have meant placing this building like here, so that tanks and things couldn't hit it from over here. Of course, the advantage of poking it out is that now the 36mm flat cannon can like thump out. Is it 36mm? I think so. Anyway, whatever. Can like thump rounds across this area here. Whereas if it was hidden behind the building, it could really only access like everything in this arc here. So I think overall, yeah, I do like this positioning. It's a little bit more aggressive, but I think that's totally warranted. Oh dear, and these Penal Legion, they want to fall back. They're like running out of the doorway into a firing line of Fallschirmjägers and Storm Pioneers, and they do get out of there as the Maxim begins suppressing from the right. And this, if Scorpion's on his toes, he can just run the Fallschirms around here. Does he have the munitions for a bundle charge? He does, so he could run them around here. Okay, there's some Flamer troops in the way. That's going to be an issue, but I still think he could get through and get the bundle grenade onto the Maxim. But, you know, that's quite an all-in play, and the Maxim can reposition very quickly, and he'd be running past some Flamer troops, so in fairness, I think I prefer the more defensive line, which Scorpion's wanted to go with him. And that is a T-70, so in the meantime, oh wow, we're mowing down this fresh squad of Fallschirmjägers who trade for a Panzerfaust and are now going to get out. And that is the most glitched dude I've ever seen. Wow. Well, apparently you can't touch this, but you can flame it. So, wow. Glitch Fallschirmjäger goes down. That is a squad wipe, importantly for the progress of the game. And I'm just coming over here to the Russian base to observe the fact that Celtics has indeed constructed the Tier 3 building. And back to the action. So, Fallschirmjägers just firing onto the bridge. I'd love to see this unit here, and it is on the move, yeah, this unit of Volks. I'd just love to see it take this victory point to really put the pressure on the Soviet player. Again, if we look at the top left and top right, it's clear that the Overcommand player Scorpion has more assets at his disposal, but this T-70 is going to be a real thorn in his side. I'd like to see him actually grab the Rakettenwerfer, here it is, and turn off the damn camouflage so it can actually move. Alright, he's putting it in this building, fair enough, but I think this one's the stronger choice. Oh, its health is quite low though, so maybe not. But I still think that he really, really wants that Rakettenwerfer to be down here in the south. I mean, yeah, he's got the Zis, but oh dear, the Zis is in danger of being overrun. The Volks need to get behind this cover and start supporting. The Zis needs to move back. Here comes the Volks. They're going to jump into this building, but I think they're going to get quite roasty-toasty in there. What is Scorpion's attention on right now? He's not moving that Zis gun as a Russian force begins to take the northernmost point, and the T-70 cutting off these Volks from using the bridge in the south. The Zis gun on the move now, so thank goodness for that. That's really cool. That's good. And a stash of medkits here. Decent positioning. And Celtics is now aware that there's a Schwerer Panzer HQ here, as it deals 2/3 damage to this T-70. Oh no! Oh, and a tragic micro mistake there. And that's a T-70 down. I think that was just a mistake. Obviously, he did not intend to cause it to turn there and get taken out as the third sr4czka Schlepper comes out. Sorry, the third sr4czka Schlepper here. So that should deploy into the regimental headquarters, or the battle group headquarters rather. So that's going to be the medical building. Not sure I like the positioning on this building though. Reason being, by positioning it this way, this means that his own vehicles now won't be able to use this avenue to get around. And it also means that retreating infantry are going to get stuck on this fence, they're going to get stuck on this building. Sometimes they don't actually count properly falling back till they reach a certain point around the perimeter of the building, so they might get jammed if they're trying to reach here. They'll have to go like, oh, I'm falling back, oh, I'm going to run all the way around here and get to here, or they might get like wedged here. It's a bit glitchy as the forward fallback point on that building. Although, actually, now that I think about it, not many players of this caliber actually bother using that upgrade, they just use it for reinforce and heal, so that's probably not an issue. Now I think about it. Up in the north, a squad of Storm Pioneers and the Volks here are going to be able to liberate these from the Soviets. And Soviet forces here pushing up with a Maxim and a Ziskan, able to put some pressure onto the sr4czka Panzer HQ here. Squad of Penals with a Flamer lancing in, going to get some flame rounds in here, but I don't imagine this pressure is going to last long. Well, that's a satchel charge. So, satchel charge going for good damage. Opportunity of a squad wipe here. It's a slim opportunity. I don't think the Volks have got the marksmanship to make that. Ooh, but the sr4czka HQ might. No, he's good. So I'd like to see these Fallschirmjägers come forward to here. Oh. No, I wouldn't, because there's a Max in there, which seems fair. Okay. So what he's going to do is send the Volks in first, get this to reposition, and now he can hop the wall with the Fallschirms, get the Fallschirms to here. They can bundle grenade and just dagger these guys down with the FGs. That'll be real nice. Now he spawns a separate squad of Fallschirms. Pretty cool. Liking it. What's his unit cap now? 56. Very nice. How much is it plating? 107. So yeah, I'm going to look to build a tech thing. Invest that pretty soon. Is he on fuel conversion? No, he's not. He's not using any kind of resource conversion. Again, fair enough. Handy to have those munitions on standby, especially if you've got Fallschirmjäger squads to use the Panzer fast for. CelticsREP here, the Su-76 coming out, and he's going to barrage this building with Fallschirmjäger. They need to get out. The next shell is probably going to kill them. That is a squad of Fallschirmjägers buried under rubble. Not where you want them. And Rakettenwerfer here is kind of in an awkward position. That one really wants to turn, I think. Okay, now the Fallschirmjägers are in a great position. I love this. This is a great place. Shock troops coming out using the smoke grenade, and they're going to use that to get real close. You know what, to be honest, he gave them a little bit too much respect. I think if I was Scorpion, I might have just tried to take the brunt of their assault. With heavy cover and FG-42s, you're probably trading pretty profitably. But that's just a guess. Wow! God, the sr4czka Panzer HQ is pretty wounded, and the CelticsREP is going to trade for hits on it, but not enough damage coming through. But a satchel charge from these Penals could do it. Are there any other Penals coming in to support? Now it looks like it's just down to these guys for the play. Oh, and the shock troops are in jeopardy. You've got to think they're going to go down, and they do. And the incredible repair rate of the elite Storm Pioneers, probably the best repair rate in the game, especially if you buy them that repair tool, is going to sort this building out in no time. So, a situation nicely handled there for Scorpion, able to repulse the advances of Celtics, who's low on manpower, in fact low on all his resources, going for another Su-76, but still only has 5 squads of infantry to go with them. And when you look at the forces available to Scorpion, you've got to think that he's in a firm control of this game. And he has a firm control of this game. The battle group headquarters able to heal the infantry who are manning this Ziskan. Fallschirmjäger's in good positions, and now with the 2 stars, the veterans see they do have the camouflage to go invisible when in cover. Maybe a satchel charge opportunity, not a satchel charge, bundle grenade opportunity here, possibly. Certainly standing about getting flames isn't so beneficial. I'll move back, yeah. I think that's a fight which you can eye up the fact that he's got 2 squads of Penals with flamethrowers at the appropriate range, and you've got to say to yourself, any amount of trading here is not worth it. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to fall back because that removes my dudes from the fight. I'm going to move them back this way, towards this building where they can heal and reinforce, bringing your opponents, if they decide to follow with their flamethrowers, into the arc of the sr4czka Panzer HQ. That's, like, I think that's the play. Now, a beefy line of infantry. The Soviet player Celtics is hell-bent on taking this position, and I can kind of see why. It lets him put a lot of pressure onto his opponent, but it's also where his opponent is most prepared to receive this attack, so I don't know. I think it might be time to try somewhere else. I think for example, if Celtics was to bring all his forces up here, around here, right, then he could deploy the Su-76 CelticsREP, like, I don't know, here, say, or maybe here with good line of sight through here, and use the barrage ability around here, maybe kill some infantry who are repairing reinforcing. Oh no, don't leave your Su-76 out to dry, my friend. Ooh, it needs to get out, and I think it will. This squad of Volks has a Shrek, and they're going to get a shot at it. Do you reckon that's... No, they're going to back away. No, they see it again. They're going for it. Oh, I think there was an opportunity there for a shot, but I think the Su-76 was shrouded in fog of war until just too late. So, whew. Breathes a sigh of release, I imagine, to Celtic there. The barrage ability again coming out, and that's going to flunk straight into the Schwera HQ. He's got a real problem with this building. These pioneers, they can repair all day, buddy. Panzer IV going to be the fuel tech of choice for Scorpion. Fantastic unit. Is he going to buy the MG42 upgrade for it? Not at this moment. And that is going to do for the CelticsREP. And yeah, I was just feeling like that might be a GG moment, because when you look at the forces on the map, we've got 2 squads of penals with flamethrowers, and we've got a mortar squad, and we've got a Maxim. And that's no anti-tank. And when you look at the forces of Scorpion here, that's quite a racking, quite a tally of your units he's racked up there. So yep, I can understand the GG there from Celtics, but a good game nonetheless. I liked his play in the early phase, and I liked the first couple of waves of pressure he put on this position. I liked the way he denied the Schwera Max Schlepper that was trying to deploy, like, first up here, he pushed it back, then it came back down here and tried here, and then he pushed it back again, and eventually forcing like a really late mechanized regimental HQ here. So yeah, but I think committing to this attack, with the Su-76, like the second time, probably a mistake. I would have chosen something different, because that attack is no more powerful than the one before it, and your opponent is, if anything, more prepared. So that's what I would say. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. This is Magpie842 signing out.